Hello to you and welcome to Adelante Chicago. I'm Lourdes Duarte. Thank you so much for joining us today. Bienvenidos. Well, a brand new opportunity coming to the Little Village neighborhood. A lot of buzz is building around what will be known as Xquina Cafe. Right now, it's a vacant storefront on 26th Street, but the plan is to turn it into a cafe and a business incubator with even private offices. A $250,000 grant by the Neighborhood Opportunity Fund is helping make this happen. And joining us now to talk a little bit more about it, I've got two gentlemen. Jaime Di Paolo, he's the executive director with the Little Village Chamber of Commerce, as well as the project manager for this, Juan Saldaña. Welcome to the two of you.
Thank you.
Hi, Lourdes.
Hi.
It's a pleasure being here. I can't erase my smile ever since we got that announcement.
I bet. This is so exciting because let's talk about this corner, Xquina, meaning corner, of 26th Street. That is a vacant storefront right now.
Yes, it used to be a pharmacy many years ago. It's on the corner of Drake Street and 26th Street. And we were able to deal with the property owner, and we creating this incredible concept coming to the neighborhood in the spring of 2019.
Okay, so that's pretty soon. We've got a year to wait. So Xquina Cafe, obviously a cafe, but on top of that, you're hoping to build opportunities and provide opportunities for businesses. How would that work?
Yeah, absolutely. So our plan was to first create this cultural amenity so people come and work in a space. Restaurants typically are somewhat loud and you're eating and you know they're trying to make sure that customers come in and out. Well, Xquina is completely the opposite. You come in, you do your homework if you're like in high school or you're from the community. We did a feasibility study and we realized that young people, young entrepreneurs, there's a lot of young people in Little Village that would love a place like this, that they can come and work, get wonderful Wi-Fi, grab a little bit of coffee, some panecito from the neighborhood, and basically
shoe shine.
Oh, that's right. Okay, all right.
Put a shoe shining thing there, but the idea is that we have capacity building programs for entrepreneurs, and we also have a private room upstairs for conferences. We're also going to put together a green screen room and a podcast room. So the idea is that we can have the youth from the community set up and establish businesses, and they can do that through that venue.
But it's not solely just for youth. I mean, the idea is to promote being an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
Very much like what we've seen with like the Merchandise Mart, right? And 1871, what they're doing over there.
Correct. It's just localized and relevant for the community.
Okay.
There's over 100 places like this in Chicago, but none of them in the southwest side of Chicago. So this is an opportunity for our community to thrive, to get creative, get those creative juices going and do something. Yeah. And then it's a safe place that they can hang out and be part of this concept, which is very awesome. And we're making sure it's very culturally relevant to our community.
I have a difficult time wrapping my head around the fact that there isn't something like this already on the southwest side of Chicago, because we see it everywhere else. What do you think has taken so long to develop something like this?
Well, for the most part, I think a lot of investments, they feel like all the innovation is done, downtown Chicago. But the reality is we have a lot of really intelligent and brilliant people in the communities, and some of them are not going to take a bus or a train downtown. They want to stay in the areas. So we wanted to make sure we provide that avenue for them to basically come together and work on their projects. So we will have, obviously, the relationships and partnerships with some of the incubators downtown. We're in talks with them. We're not doing it alone. We understand that we need assistance from everybody else, including the city of Chicago, which, by the way, was part of a larger story. We got 7 people NOF grants on 26th Street. So they've been extremely helpful, extremely supportive. They were actually out on 26th Street talking to the businesses. This is an extremely wonderful program. I can't thank the mayor's office enough for actually putting the time and effort for the Chamber of Commerce and all of us to come together along with the WBDC to put together a wonderful program.
Yeah, let's expand this a little bit more, because obviously we're here to talk about Xquina Cafe, but this Neighborhood Opportunity Fund has provided dollars for lots of different communities throughout Chicago. Xquina Cafe being one project, but many others throughout Little Village. What are some of the other ones?
There's a high-class tap corner coming online. There's a couple of business owners going to expand their businesses and expand their businesses and their sales. For example, we got tamales. This gentleman sells
which
tamales.
I love, by the way. Okay.
So he's doing instead of paying a place so he can freeze them, he's going to have his basement with a freezer so they can save that money and actually lower the cost of tamales and distribute those tamales not just in Little Village but across the state and everywhere else. So these are people that entrepreneurs that are trying to expand their horizons and businesses.
A lot of the anchor businesses on 26th Street that have been there since the late 70s and early 80s, they basically have been there in the community, invested, hired people from the community. Those are the businesses that are really going to benefit from this. They're updating their facades, putting in new systems for their kitchens, new things for the flooring and things of that nature. So they're going to give it a new face. So part of it is really kind of updating the experience for the customers that are already coming in. We want to be inviting to the neighborhood. Obviously, as you know, Chicago's changing very rapidly, but our little community is very much in tune with the cultural aspect of the Mexican experience in Chicago. So this NOF fund is really helping us tell that story, making sure that we keep our wonderful City of Neighborhoods concept going, and the Little Village community is very entrepreneurial, and they take a lot of wonderful risks, and now they're doing these growth strategies for their business.
Yeah, and you mentioned that. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that Cranes, maybe it was a couple of years ago, had that big headline story on the front page talking about how 26th Street, that corridor, is like the second biggest tax revenue generator for the city of Chicago, and I would imagine they want that to continue,
That's right? Well, you know, it's just the nostalgic market. People like to come and experience being Mexican, being Latino, and being feel good to do that. So it's always good to go buy that product that reminds you of your grandma, for example, right? So that's what Little Village is. We don't have those big box stores, but we have the entrepreneurial small stores that I encourage everybody to support, because those are the shop local. That's the engine of the economy in the United States. They shop because they employ our neighbors, they employ our friends. And plus, you know, the cashier by, you know, she could be your neighbor, right? So support your local businesses.
All right. I know you've got the parade coming up. WGN will be there, but give people the information in case they're interested.
September 9th is our big parade, the 49th annual, on 26th Street, the Mexican Independence Day annual parade happening on 26th Street. Starts at noon, so come. And have a good time with your family, and you know, support the local businesses and say hello to Lourdes.
Oh my gosh, I got my wave down. See that? I got it down. I got it down. Thank you so much, and good luck to the two of you as you embark on this project. I know it's going to be a big success.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lourdes.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.